Welcome, Virgo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon, actually your meditation reading, which will focus on the new moon in Taurus after last week's new moon, after the solar eclipse in April, after the lunar eclipse in March. So with the current solar flares erupting on the sun and projecting towards the earth, we are experiencing a climax of cosmic energy that we will look a little more closely into the area where it's impacting you. I am doing personal readings, and the information for that is in the description box below. I'm also giving away free readings on or about the first of every month, and I find the winners in the comments section and in the donations previously received area of my channel. So thank you to all of you who have been responding so generously to me in whatever way is possible for you. I thank you primarily for your presence here. Now, Virgo, let's look at your overall energy for this new moon in Taurus cycle. The Devil card. This is about, in some ways, I feel this is about giving up an expectation of yourself that has been imposed on you by others. There's an expectation that you supply, provide for, or create resources for someone outside of yourself in a way that does not meet the effort you expend towards this provision, does not meet your own needs for care or nurturance. This can be an institutional expectation of a job that you're expected to do, but it is as likely that this is a projection from your childhood conditioning, your family of origin, or a general social expectation that there is a certain way you must perform your responsibilities that also defines what your responsibilities are. This usually excludes your needs to pursue something that is authentic to you, and that's the sensation that I'm getting at this time, that there's something that will provide your life, your experience with the kind of significance that you value as your contribution to the world. There's an additional pursuit or a way to prioritize your responsibilities differently. And if you did that, there would be a resonant a set of conditions that would be affected and changed so that your energy is not outwardly facing to comply, but rather a way of supplying your own self with the pursuit of something you deeply desire. In the 10th house, the house of your social identity and responsibilities, the way others see you, the Five of Pentacles is definitely indicating that you want to, again, change the way that you handle, see, receive money. This is not about necessarily more or less in this case. This is about more that you benefit from, more that you control. So there may be a glass ceiling that you have experienced in your work. There may be an upper limit that you recognize that you may have achieved, but that you believe your effort is worthy of more, is valued more highly. You are aware that the way you utilize your resources for yourself and or loved ones, the way that you give back is not equitable with the way that you receive. So there's a sense of change, a sense of going beyond the story of your childhood or conditioned expectations, again, in this case. In the first house, The Seven of Cups is describing a lot of opportunities or offers that you see available. This may be options that you had never considered before, or things that might satisfy you, usually in the shorter term. This is more like seeking gratification rather than fulfilling a purpose. What these offers do is overwhelm and distract you, because your desire to shift your total focus, the way that you work, the way that you serve your community, the way that you give back to the world is being reshifted. So these offers feel temporarily satisfying. They may be if you are struggling in a particular profession or a position in an organization, this can be offers from other side hustles, other opportunities to connect, try out, work with new collaborators that may be tempting, but you are clear that they cannot distract you from this larger shift that you are attempting to make in your social, professional, communal life. In the fourth house, the house of your soul, your roots, your family, the Ten of Wands is describing an overwhelm of responsibilities. And this is consistent with the role that you have been playing, not only in your community, at your job, or in your family. You take on the responsibilities and the obligations that you see are required to get the job done. You're all about achieving the job, even if that means you have to do it. And that is a habit you are really struggling to release because it is wearing you out, it's burning you out, it's exhausting you. You have very little to give to this imagination around other ways that you can pursue your dreams and still be responsible. And for you, it's feeling like it is a management of the tasks and the rewards that you receive for your efforts that you want to shift around. In fact, changing the goal of your work, moving the direction of your work into a path that fulfills your expectations, your needs and desires, will necessarily change the way that you distribute your resources and the responsibilities attached to that. And that feels desperately needed because this change is shifting all this, is changing this in a different direction. And I absolutely would be clear that this is going to impact your physical health, your physical home. In the seventh house, the house of your significant others, is the Knight of Wands. And this is the part of you that wants to grow. And this is a part of you that wants to team up or partner with new individuals, a recognition that the partners that you have included may be no longer serving you, but rather that you look to team up with those who are helping you to grow. Even as you shift your perspective from organizational demands or professional demands or requirements, you're understanding that moving in a direction that is more individually gratifying, that allows you a stronger creative voice, there is a lot to learn. And you're teaming up, you're desiring teaming up and pursuing those relationships, those partnerships that will assist you in pursuing new goals in a new way, quite possibly. I'm going to I am hoping that this reading is resonating with you, Virgo. If so, please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot, and I appreciate you for that. And I picked the balance card. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Wow. I like that. That's putting a slightly different flavor here. And from the Hummingbird Oracle, I have the Fly with Faith card. And that reads, trust your sturdy wings and know that the universe is working its magic on your behalf. This is really giving me a sense that you have this incredible sense of empowerment around the way that you can manage and organize your world. And what's beautiful about that is that you're understanding that the shift that you're making, the change you're making, is going to absolutely affect and impact your sense of responsibility and tasks in a way that will be freeing you up, liberating you to grow again, to refresh your direction, your goals in a way that leaves you open to learning more. I'm going to clarify the Seven of Cups here with the Nine of Pentacles in the second house and the Two of Swords in the third house. What you value is your ability to stand on your own 2 feet. And I think you're beginning to appreciate the value of cultivating your own garden. And it's interesting that you are shifting your responsibility from a more other-focused achievement to one that satisfies your personal values and goals, your own resources, and really begins to understand what you are worth, whether you are in a long-term relationship, a family member, responsible with children, no matter what your status or social arrangement, you are honoring what you have gained, what you have cultivated, what you have grown for yourself. That is something that you carve and maintain as the anchor of your stability and security. So with that in place, you're well equipped, you're prepared to make the shift that you want to make. And this is a hard shift for you to make emotionally, but it is one that you know is the right direction for you to move in. So the Two of Swords is describing that you feel yourself at a major crossroads. You understand that there are a variety of different opportunities you're now moving towards, but the choice is difficult to make. And what is required is for you to be absolutely honest with yourself, because at some level you intuitively already know what the right decision is for you. But that decision is hard. It's the harder choice. It's not the easier one. The easier one is what you've been doing, because there are always folks that need you and always people you can take care of. And that has provided you with a sense of being needed and being available, providing for those who need your support. But there's a way in which you are now opting to move away from that. And that has presented a sense of security for you. But you know it's time. It's the harder decision is to move on, not knowing where you will go. In the fourth house, the Ten of Wands is clarified by the Magician in the fifth house and the Fool in the sixth house. Wow. So yes, this again is supporting your creative drive, your creative vision. There's something that has to do with the way you work, the field in which you work, or the collaboration, the team, the way that you enjoy your work, the way you play at your work, that is infusing your vision, that is fleshing out your vision in a way that is bringing you a lot of joy. This can be through children. This can involve children. This can certainly involve family members or simply friends with whom you are able to create recreate, procreate with. This sense of a vision is really coming out of this team that you have that really speaks to your imagination and your creative abilities. As far as work goes, you are willing to take the leap into a new relationship, into a new position. You're willing, it feels as though you're willing to go solo in some key aspect. This going solo can be the difference between working for a big organization or working for a smaller business, consulting, creating your own business, moving off into another aspect of your professional practice that has been a different, that offers you a different, more personal experience. This is about fulfilling your creative voice and taking a risk moving out into unfamiliar territory. So, in many ways, I'm sensing that your intuition is pushing you in this direction, but it is a hard one for you to emotionally navigate because of your responsibilities, perhaps because of the intimates in your life, because of those you've cultivated a community with that rely on you in some particular ways, that need you in a way that you're having a hard time negotiating. The Knight of Wands in the 7th house is clarified by the Strength card in the 8th house and the Two of Cups in the 9th house. Your strength has been basically deployed to support those that you take care of. You apply much of your financial and physical resources to making sure that those you love are cared for, that you share the benefits of your resources with those that you are intimate with. This can be the development of a fund for your children. This can be a divorce settlement. There's something here. Perhaps there's a change in this tax structure that will be benefiting others. But you're really looking at the way that you have built your financial world and your possessions so that you maintain your integrity, your own individual experience, and you still provide for others. So there is a kind of allegiance or a commitment to taking care of those that you understand are truly your responsibility to take care of. And there's a lot of power and achievement in this position for you. In the 9th house, the Two of Cups is describing this deeper connection you're making through your ability to allow yourself to grow, particularly because this area of your life is one that is particularly highlighted during this new moon. This can be the source of the connection in partnership with those peers, those allies, those relationships that honestly value you for your direction, your desires, what you have achieved, and look to you for partnership in mutually pursuing those similar goals. There's a way that you have begun to honor your own potential no matter what you have achieved. And in doing that, you are pursuing the things that you now realize you are deserving of having. And that includes real love. This is a message that I've gotten over and over for Virgo. So at the risk of repeating myself, it keeps coming up. And this connection is likely to be found either in an educational or spiritual environment, a place where you learn and seek communion with others, an opportunity through your work to instruct others in an unfamiliar setting or at a distance from you. but the possibility for genuine partnership is reflected in your own honoring of yourself, your own respecting of your greater potential. The Five of Pentacles in the 10th house is clarified by the Emperor in the 11th house and the Moon card in the 12th house. The number of majors feels overwhelming to me. However, you are again showing me how in control of your resources you are. This is a beautiful card for your leadership in a capacity, in an area of growth for you, in a way that you are organizing yourself with others to impact humanitarian goals on behalf of the entirety of humanity. There's work that you've already accomplished, but you now see you are willing to commit to more fully on the world stage that can include your community, your family, your neighborhood, however the world is defined on your own terms. Ultimately, what this brings you back to, similar to the Capricorn reading, is your own resources. This strength, this ability, this desire to look more deeply into those unconscious behaviors, those patterns that are uncomfortable, that you know don't serve you, that perhaps motivate you to take care of others when you yourself are in need of support, particularly to pursue this next accomplishment, this next goal that is going to wrap up the service of your life in its just significance for you. So asking for help rather than giving help is something that you are trying to learn to do. If that means opening up to meditation practice, prayer practice, connecting with ancestors or living relatives, whatever it means to you, a way to cultivate that stillness so that you can face and organize your own truths that will motivate you further into the pursuit of this love, this self-respect, this potential of your higher self, and thus greater achievement. I'm going to pull a yogic path oracle, and am hoping that this reading has been helpful to you. I have pulled the Namaste card, and because of my newly burgeoning desire to learn more about these spiritual principles, I will be reading from the guidebook that will help to fill out the significance of this card for you. So Namaste is the goddess of radical self-transcendence. You're waking up and experiencing the radical pleasures of letting go. Namaste, the headless god, has come to guide you in this massive state of transformation as you turn passion into spiritual energy. Kundalini, primal energy, is rising, and you have given up a role you once carried to step up more fully into your power. Don't feel fear in the state of transition. Namaste's gift is to transmute the darkest of times into the most powerful of energies. Carry her fierceness as you tear off a former head you once had and experience the inner peace that comes with being divinely yourself. Well, that's quite an image. The headless goddess. I love it. Thank you so much, Virgo, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.